I can already guess what you're thinking based on reading the title of this video. Ah, yes, this man doesn't want to see the remakes come back to life. Oh, he's just being a sad boy Ace Combat fan. Oh shit, I mean, I think we all are at this point. Okay, all jokes aside though, I really do want to see these remakes come to fruition. But let's be honest here, it's probably not going to happen. Can I get a italicized, maybe a bold on that, please? That's a lot better. There are fans across the board that split themselves off from one another. Everybody wants their series and the franchise remastered, remade, or put on the PlayStation Store at some point. But the big question here is, what exactly would be a realistic approach in composing an idea for a remake? Well, we have plenty of choices to choose from. Ace Combat 1, old game, who cares? Ace Combat 2, it's been done. Ace Combat 3, Kazutoki Kono himself has explicitly stated that the cost to remake Ace Combat 4, 5, and 0 altogether is dynamically cheaper than to remake Ace Combat 3 alone. Not to mention, Ace Combat 3 drastically burned the company's gross profits to hell. And yeah, I think that seals the dream up for everybody. No remakes. No, but seriously, Ace Combat 3 sold 1.164 million copies compared to Ace Combat 2, which sold only 1.092 million. 3 had way more content than 2 ever did, and the sales tanked with hopes in doubling their predecessors. The Ace Combat Holy Trinity is recognized as Ace Combat 4, 5, and 0 altogether. The possibility of their status of a possible remake is pretty bright still till this day. Ace Combat X, not my first choice, but this is seriously an underrated game. Anybody who has played it knows that it slaps. It's on a different tier of games from the rest of the franchise. It only sold 500,000 copies, but was definitely ahead of its time. Imagine like a PSP game that's remade with the PlayStation 5 engine. If that doesn't give you Morning Wood, I don't know what else will. XI, Joint Assault Horizon? Oh my god, please tell me you're joking. Infinity? I mean, there's no way in hell I see them doing this. Maybe some cool DLC referencing the game in Ace Combat 7, but nothing more. But what about Ace Combat 7? Oh yeah, actually, I don't know if y'all heard, but there's a rumor that it's coming to the App Store soon, so I would definitely keep an eye out for that. I mean, if you guys want to subscribe for more App Store Ace Combat content in the future, definitely see that on the channel soon. In an interview conducted by Twinfinite featuring Kono and Ace Combat 7's producer Shimamoto, they were asked about the likeliness of remakes to come in the future. So here's what they said. We often spend time talking about what we should do with those legendary titles like Ace Combat 4, 5, and 0. We know what our users want. Whether I propose something that I would bring value for the veteran fans, he always says no. That's just because he comes up with unrealistic things. It would be very difficult to achieve everything he'd want us to realize. My job is to make into reality what our players want us to do. We're always trying to figure out a way to do so. I really hate that word contract. For the record, I vote for a remake. We often talk about remakes too. Yeah, but who's actually going to make them? Do I need to split myself in 3? There are third-party developers who are very proficient in doing that kind of thing. Do you know any good developer that could do that? Vicarious Visions did a great job with Crash Bandicoot, but there are many studios around that would likely do a good job. That's a big success, isn't it? I'd really like to do a remake while I'm still alive. Keep that quote in mind. This 100% shows that it's been talked about plenty of times. But activace, I came here to find out if I'm getting my damn remake or not. Yeah, well, young pilot, like I said before in bold, it's a possibility. Here's the biggest issue that leads me to believe why we are possibly not getting any Ace Combat remakes. Licensing. Let me get some bold and italics on this bad boy. Maybe an underline too for the emphasis on this one. All planes are fully licensed except some of the Russian ones since they aren't on the copyright section. A major example here is a look at Ace Combat 7. All of the cockpits were made from scratch and modeled perfectly for the camera. This took plenty of conversations between Lockheed Martin and Bandai Namco. For those of you who don't know anything about Lockheed Martin, they are an aerospace and defense company. A few years ago, Bandai Namco pulled all digital copies of Ace Combat X, Ace Combat Joint Assault, and Ace Combat 6, including the DLC, right out of sale. Sometime later, they got rid of the Ace Combat Assault Horizon digital copies and DLC for the console. And then a few years after that, they removed Ace Combat Assault Horizon PC digital copies. So why exactly was all this stuff happening? Well, this isn't just because of the sales or the fact that people raged over dogfight mode. It's actually because of licensing. Yeah, That's right, all licenses are time-based and they chose not to renew them. Bold in italics on that one, please. There's two reasons for this happening. One, they're stupidly expensive. Number two, if you didn't buy the game between the several years you had of its release, then tough luck, man. All of this blends into a piece of an interview from Twinfinite. I hear many asking if you could please sell the PlayStation 4 version of Ace Combat 5 separately. I know it was a pre-order bonus, but it has been quite some time and I'm sure there's a lot of demand for it. Unfortunately, we're not able to sell that. It can only be a pre-order bonus. Think about the red tape of licensing and read Kono's line carefully. We're not able to sell that and it can only be a pre-order bonus. Money is always a giant factor when it comes to game development. For Bandai, they suffer because of the licensing costs, and well, that's why Ace Combat 5 had to become a pre-order bonus for Ace Combat 7. And if they were to put this game back onto the market, they would have to renew every single aircraft's license. This does not include the fictional planes. The other factor that ties into Ace Combat 5 not being resold is because of Puddle of Mud's hit single, Blurry. A while back, Project Aces and Bandai tweeted some trailers and old gameplay footage from Ace Combat 5. They used the opening title screen footage, but it cut out just before Blurry began.
Fairy tale come true like this.
It appears you're up against Rosgrease itself out there.
Yeah, thanks Wes, you fucking con artist sucking plain piece of I'm just kidding, this is a joke, but I don't think it would cost them that much, but why spend? They would probably have to renew that song license as well. Look, Project Aces is an amazing group of people. They're efficient but small. Holding only 20 people on their roster, team size does hurt. Think about how many times Ace Combat 7 was delayed, twice. Sure, they had quality issues or maybe it felt too rushed, but we only know what we know. Let's flash back to this interview again. Shimamoto's words do really ring true. Who is going to actually make the remakes? Do I need to split myself in three? He's right. I mean, it took two other teams alongside Project Aces in order for them to finish Ace Combat 7. Okay, let's think about this remake for a second. We don't know what Project Aces wants to do with them in the first place. Do they want to use the same aircraft roster as last time? Should they use the same engine as Ace Combat 7 or make some changes that they couldn't do with it? Or what if they change the controls to simplify it for a larger audience? Do the borders actually exist? Or what if Belka did nothing wrong? Ace Combat 7 was only completed thanks to the help of two other companies. Who knows how much work Project Aces has to go through in order to make the PlayStation 2 remakes happen. This is a daunting thought that will reoccur as long as these remakes do not exist. So, for the time being, it sounds like we're not gonna get any trilogy comeback in the near future. Hope is not dead, as Kono himself would love to see them back in the skies in HD. The daunting question is, who exactly is going to make the remakes? I hope you all enjoyed this long discussion video. I had the most amazing help from Sly Cooper Fan 1 for some additional research and some pretty great points. Please check his channel out and make sure to do your own research by visiting Acepedia, the Ace Combat Wiki. I mean, I seriously use this thing almost every day. The links are in the description down below. I don't know how you all feel about this new style, but I'm definitely enjoying the more research I put into this stuff. I mean, you learn a lot, and so do I, so it's like a win-win, you know? Lads, if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on the channel. Join the Discord to talk about stuff like this with other fans and get first-hand updates on the content. I mean, you guys are going to be the first ones to hear about it. All the links and stuff will be down below. And as always, I love you guys so much. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in solitary.